WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN. ESPN 790 AM.
The views and opinions of the hosts or guests of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the management or staff of Intercom Memphis.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as we talk outdoors the next 90 minutes on the 22nd of August. Hard to believe. Golly, it's hard to believe. And we have a bonus Saturday in August. We'll have 5 shows, and so that kind of keys us up. Greg Ratcliffe is our show producer, straight in from, what's the name of that store again, Whole Foods? Whole Foods. He's working out there, and it has opened in Germantown. Come out and see Greg in the produce department. He'll throw you a piece of cabbage or something out there at you, more than likely. And, of course, this is the fourth Saturday of the month. That means that we bring in Bill Cooksey.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Bill Cooksey.
Morning, Larry. Good to see you.
Editor of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News, and it also means that it's Bonus Wong. BW. Bonus Wong. This means that Bill, and Bill, we know that Ron he's everywhere, isn't he?
I know he is. He's always on the road.
He is on the road again.
And sampling all the best menus in the region where he happens to be.
Yeah, well, there's food.
Hey, wait a minute. You know I'm going. Good morning, everybody, first of all.
It's taking us 3 minutes.
You know I'm going to eat.
Yes, and then posted
I'm definitely going to eat.
Well, Ron is at Hot Springs for the Forest Wood Cup. It's already begun. We're going to talk to Ron a lot about it during today's show. He's over there at a wonderful facility in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and a lot of things going on. But Ron was good enough to set up some interviews for us this morning. And, Ron, why don't you introduce our first guest on today's show?
Well, first of all, our first guest, electronics is everything in the world nowadays. And, it really helps all of us that are out on the water, to hopefully find the spots or places where there's going to be fish, but also for the hunters. You get out in the woods, and, it's a cloudy day, so there's no sun. It's real easy to get turned around, and some of the things that are coming out nowadays are absolutely awesome. And Navionics does a great job of mapping and keeping maps updated. They have different kinds of software you can use on your smartphone, your chart plotters, GPSs, and everything else. And, of course, the guy that knows everything about that and knows how to talk that is Paul.
Yes. Well,
and Paul, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ron. You're making me feel like the guru over here with all that great comment.
You are. You are.
The guru.
You are. I mean, when somebody gets introduced just by their first name, I mean, that makes you a guru.
That's true. It's just kind of, it's just there. I feel like a celebrity. You don't even need the last name. It's just Paul. That's all that matters.
Well, tell them your last name, Paul, so we'll let this thing out.
It's Paul Mickley.
That's right. And I wanted Paul to. And Ron has been working. Paul was good enough at the Tennessee Outdoor Writers Conference this past year in the spring. Sent one of his cohorts to the conference, and Ron knows this. Did a wonderful job. Wow, explaining everything that's going on, and Ron, you could explain this better than I can for the fishermen out there. I can remember when we just had the little graphs. Remember that?
I remember the old hummingbird in a box.
Yeah, there you go. If you still had
I still have a green box. I still have a Lawrence green box.
You do? Well, now we've already mentioned all sorts of other names, but let's get back to this guy. Paul, tell us, technology is unbelievable. You guys are really on top of it.
Well, we came out with a better string and a heavier rock to try to drop off the side of the boat. No. So what we've done, I mean, you're right. Technology and everything that's coming out is, the processing speed of the new plotters has really kind of opened up opportunities for Navionics to create new charting and do some really cool things because of, the phone app and Wi-Fi and, again, speed of processors and inducers. And I know one Ron was very impressed with. We were at ICAST, and he had hopped up on our boat that we had there doing demos, and we were demoing what we call Sonar Charts Live.
Yes.
And that's right. Actually where it kind of works in conjunction, not kind of, it works in conjunction with our app, and either a Lowrance with a Go Free or a Gen 3 or Raymarine or Vexilar, where you can attach your phone via Wi-Fi using Navionics, and while you boat, and it doesn't matter if you're doing 5 miles, 15, or 40 miles an hour, as long as you're holding bottom, you will literally draw brand new contours as you boat along. So you can map your private lake, you can update current lakes, you can hit creeks. I mean, you can find stuff now literally as you go, and then we take that information and we blend it into the chart and then push it back out to run on your plotter. But you can actually see 1-foot contours draw as you're scooting along now.
All right, we got two guys that really love to fish here, Ron and Bill.
That's right.
Bill's shaking his head on this stuff, and I'm shaking my head the wrong way. I said, this is unbelievable. This is man in space stuff here.
Paul, what I was impressed with was that all I had to do was I went to my smartphone, and all I did was download the Navionics app.
Yeah.
Of course, I've got an iPhone, so I went to the iPhone store, but you can do it on Android also. And what's so impressive is you can be in your boat, and if you have that app downloaded, you can pretty well know and do all of the things that a lot of people do. You can mark in your waypoints, routes, and everything else. So impressive. And tell all of our listeners, Paul, a lot of this software that you guys have now is updated almost daily, isn't it?
That's
on
correct.
Some of
we
it.
actually, you're right. Actually, it's what we do is in the past, you used to have to go and buy a new chart every year in January or February.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do now is you can update your chart online. You just plug in your chart and go to Navionics.com, and you can renew it. And we do 20,000 updates a week. So anything, and that's just talking about notice to mariners or nav aids or new rocks or something like that. But on top of that is also all the sonar chart data that comes in from the community submitting logs, and that's I can't even begin to tell you how we even count that. Other than say that, currently we're at 18,000 lakes, and that's growing every day by new logs.
18,000 lakes, 20,000, he says, daily. I mean, this is space age. It really is.
It is. And Ron mentioned hunters earlier, and duck hunters are always on the water.
Yes,
and,
that's true.
Now, I use a different boat. I don't have my big depth finders with Navionics in my duck boat, but I have Navionics on my phone, and it's unbelievable how that's helped me in poor visibility just to navigate.
Yeah.
Funny you should mention, I was actually on an airboat here in Sarasota last night. We were out looking for gators, and it's one of my buddy's duck hunting fund, works for Andros Boatworks, and he, we were using the phone for that because he said, man, I hop over some of this stuff. There's some boulders here, some rock piles that, how do I don't really have much of a GPS signal. How do I use it? So we actually use the app because you've got your own GPS on there. And with the app, we were able to run that marsh, and we marked, the boulders and everything as we went. So in the future now, he's got his phone with Navionics will actually work for him on his trails and everything else. So there's quite a few applications for it because of the way it's set up.
Well, you said
I use it hunting myself quite a bit.
Did you say you were looking for gators? I mean, that went right over. That didn't go. I caught that right off. I mean, you were actually out looking for gators, right?
Indeed. We were trying to hunt a couple down, but they survived last night.
Okay,
It was a good time running around looking for them.
And again, Paul is the national sales manager, America's for Navionics, and we caught him this morning in Sarasota, Florida. But you guys, how long you been with the company, Paul?
About 6.5 years now.
6.5 years. What does that America's mean on your title?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Means a hell of a lot of work.
There's a lot of Americas, I can tell you that, when it comes down to it, because you guys are global. I know it, and the fast pace of this thing. As a sales manager, do you guys? How far ahead are you working right now?
That's a hard question to answer. I mean, literally because again, for my title, I basically this hemisphere. Central, South America, U.S., and Canada. Each area, we've got different stuff that's coming up. And with technology, it changes so quickly as we get to see stuff. We're working, 6 months ahead. But to be honest, in next week, that could totally shift gears to something else. If we stumble upon something new with software that we go, you know what? This is better for people that fish or boat or cruise. We're going to switch gears and do this first and bump that back. And I've seen that happen many times because stuff just comes up, on a monthly, weekly basis. And we go, yeah, this is way cooler than what we think we're working on. This has more value. Let's switch gears and do this. So it's a constantly moving target, but it makes things very interesting and a lot of fun.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you taking time this morning. Appreciate Ron setting this up, and Ron shot so many videos. LROutdoors.com. We got a lot of the videos set up on the LROutdoors.com. He had a chance to meet Paul at ICAST. And, Paul, we'll stay in touch, and we appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning. To go to just go to Navionics.com, right? I mean, you can find. Yeah.
And the App Store.
The App Store, all these different things. It is an amazing thing. It's, when I look at it, and it almost sounds like Star Trek. I mean, because the space age that they've taken this.
It's just awesome stuff.
It is. It's cool. Paul, thank you, buddy, and we'll stay in touch with you, and we'll do it again, okay?
My pleasure. Ron, have a good time at FLW. Got a booth up there.
Will do, Paul. Thanks much.
Don't give me any support now. Ron will take care of himself, Paul. All right? Let's take a break. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.